What's up, guys? Welcome back. Yo. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my podcast. And today, can you guys hear me? Hold up. Can you guys hear me? Is the question. Can you guys hear me? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my podcast. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. That was a bit shaky, but it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll learn. It's a learning process. It's only day 4 of using my new studio. Trying to work out the intro. I think I got it down. I think I just need to do a little bit more fluently, but I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, okay. So today, as advertised, I am going to be doing the best defenseman from every NHL team ranked 1 to 32. I did it 3 episodes ago with left wings, 2 episodes ago with right wings, last episode with centers, and this episode with defensemen. Just like yesterday, this is super hard to create. I think this might be even harder than the centers because there are so many good defensemen in this league. It is so tough to really put together a list and rank these guys and say, like, oh, this guy's worse than this guy, and this guy's better than this guy. It's tough. As soon as we got towards the top, it was a bit easier. But, like, in the bottom, I was like, oh my god, do I really want to have these guys at the very last? Like, it's so tough, but yeah. Let's jump straight into this episode. Why does it say he's number 33? That's not cool. Oh, well. It keeps changing. Right here. There we go, okay. Number 32, Kevin Korchinski. I'm a Blackhawks fan. He is playing for the Blackhawks. I think he will tremendously climb these ranks, especially because of the fact that he is an offensive defenseman. And the more you offensively produce, the higher you're going to be on this list just naturally. Not saying if you're a fantastic defenseman, you're not going to be on this list. Defensive defenseman, because as I will show later in the episode, if you're very, very good at defense, you're going to be high on this list as well. We look at his stats. He only has 1 year of NHL experience under his belt. Last year, he put up 15 points in 76 games. He eventually, like during his prime, he'll probably be about a point per game because he's going to play Bedsy and all the other prospects and free agents that we signed during that point. And our team's going to look a lot different and better, and our power play as well. But right now, he put up 15 points in 76 games. I have to put him 32. No way I could put him higher with those stats in only year 1. Because, like I said in the last 3 episodes, it's not based off projection. I can't say he's a top 15 defenseman if no guarantee will ever be that. There's no guarantee. So I can't just say that because I feel like he's going to be. I can't. It's not projection. It's based on how good he has been and how good he is right now, not how good he's going to be. Same thing. That's why I put Bedard lower on the list last night and yesterday the podcast episode. It's because he projected to be one of the better players in the league in the future during his prime, and probably the best player in the league during his prime. But right now, he is nowhere near the best player in the league, and I rank him as he is right now. Same thing with Kevin Korchinski. Number 31, I put Cam York. I do like Cam York. He is a good player, but he is not that good. Let me look at elite prospects here because it shows all of his previous years. We're gonna go through his statistics here. He's super young. 21-22 season was his rookie year. He put up 10 points in 30 games. 2 years ago, he put up 20 points and took 54 games. This last year, he put up 30 points in 82 games. He is getting better year in, year out. I do think he will climb these rankings, but right now, I put him at 31. Number 30, I put Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler is very good. Just not one of the better number 1 defensemen in the league. One of the worst number 1 defensemen in the league. eventually, possibly even towards the end of this year, Pavel Mintyukov could be the Ducks' number one defenseman. But right now, can't he? First of all, Mintyukov is playing in the third pairing. Second of all, Cam Fowler is playing on the first pairing, proving the fact, and he's the best player on that first pairing. And I don't know why my phone isn't loading any of the statistic websites. Cam Fowler stats, elite prospects, it just doesn't load. There we go. Okay, had to restart Google. This past season, he put up 39 points in 81 games. The year before that, he put up 48 points in 82 games. His stats kind of mid, and that's why he's so down low, but he's definitely better than the guy that I previously mentioned in Cam York and Kevin Kuchinski, both offensively and defensively. Number 29 for Victor Hedman. He used to be one of the best defensive defensemen in the league. I don't know why the last couple of years his defensive stats have been horrid. And I can't get over the fact that his defensive stats are trash. These past year or two. And offensively, he's not been good either. So I put him in the 29th spot. Number 28 for Jake Wallman. I do like Jake Wallman. Jake Wallman is a great player. I do not think he should be number one defenseman. He should be a number two defenseman at maximum. Probably number three, maybe number four defenseman on a contending team. Probably number three defenseman on a contending team. No reason why he should be number one defenseman at all. Last year he put up 21 points in 63 games. The year before that he put up 18 points in 63 games. Last year was his career high of 21 points. So, yeah. It's not very good offensively. So yeah, number 27 I put Jake Sanderson. I do like Sanderson. I think he's going to take a huge step up. But right now, I can't put him higher than 27. Right now. How old are you two, Doug? Thank you for joining. Number 26 of Colton Parayko. I do like Parayko. He's probably the best shot blocking defenseman in all the NHL. Super good defensive defenseman, but he just not good enough offensively to climb these rankings. Number 25 for Mike Matheson of the Montreal Canadiens. I do like Mike Matheson. Mike Matheson's a great defenseman, but again, I don't think he should be a number one defenseman. I think he should be a number two, maybe even number three defenseman, depending on what team he is. But since he's over there in Montreal, and Lane Hudson is so young, he hasn't had any time to develop really in the NHL, literally none in the NHL. Until Lane Hudson develops into what he's going to end up being over there in Montreal, right now, Mike Matheson is the number one guy. I do like Matheson. He's a great defenseman, but he should not be a number one defenseman. Number 24 for John Carlson. He was better in the past, but right now he is still have a fantastic slap shot, and he's good defensively, but not too good. That's why he's not too high in these rankings. If you had to pick one, the number one fantasy player, and who would it be? I thought that's pretty obvious, Connor McDavid. I thought that was pretty obvious. I said this in yesterday's podcast episode that he is the best player in the league. Undoubtedly, every hockey fan can kind of come together and say that. So it has to be McDavid. Right there for Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty is still super good. Yes, he used to be better, but he's still super good. Fantastic defensively, just not super good offensively. So yeah, number 22 for Zach Werenski. If he was more healthy, I think he would be way higher on these rankings. But he was not healthy last year. So it really dropped his rankings a lot. That's why he's at the number 22 spot. Number 21 for Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton is a great guy. Same thing as Zach Werenski. He was hurt last year. It really dipped his ratings down. I think this next year, if he can stay healthy and continue to be the number one defenseman for New Jersey, I think his points are gonna be crazy because I think New Jersey's gonna win the division. I think they're actually gonna win the Eastern Conference entirely. I'm so high on the Devils. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And Leafs, let go Leafs for some reason. I'm crazy. I don't think anybody else can take it because Florida. I think they're gonna start the season a little slow because previously, like Vegas did last year, like Tampa did the year before that. Usually, when you go to the Cup 2 straight years, that takes that wear and tear on your body. So I think that's gonna carry in the next year, and I think they're gonna start a little slow. I do think they're gonna end up winning the division. very slightly, but I do think they're going to start out slow. So I don't think they're going to be able to catapult enough to win the East. I think the Leafs are not going to be good enough to win the division. To win the conference. I feel like they're never quite good enough to win the division. I feel like the depth's slightly concerning. And it depends how Joseph Woll does. And Joseph Woll does. And AC Solars. Depends how they do. If they do good, they might, but I don't think so. Boston, I don't feel like outside of Pasternak, Lindholm, and Marchand, they don't really have that much offensive production up front, and including just in general, Swayman is going to probably steal the fact that they're going to be a divisional playoff team, but I don't think they're going to win the division. The Devils are just the most complete team. They have 4 depth, star power, offensive star power, defensive star power, defense depth, offensive depth. Power play is going to be phenomenal. Penalty kill is going to be phenomenal. Goaltending situation is going to be fantastic. That's why I said I think they're going to win the conference. Let's check the other teams here. With the Rangers. I don't think the Rangers are going to be quite good enough. I think the President's Trophy run. I don't think they're going to be able to replicate the President's Trophy run there. I think they lost a couple key players, so I think that they are going to finish second in the Metro. Hurricanes. I think they lost too many pieces to win the conference. I'd be number 3 in the Metro, and I don't think anybody else in the conference could really compete for it. Okay, now continuing on, I would just prove my point why I think Dougie Hamilton's going to climb these rankings. Next up, I put number 20 is Brandon Montour of the Kraken. I think that he could be a number 1 defenseman, but I think he's more of a number 2 defenseman on most contending teams. Like he kind of was in Florida. Like Ekblad was kind of always slightly above him. And now Gustav Forsling is probably even slightly better than him now, which he will be on these rankings in the later in the podcast episode. He will be on these rankings, but he is a very good offensive player. He usually rocks the power play 1. He always did in Florida, and he's going to in Kraken. I did repost this. I shared this on Facebook the other day about the projected first power play unit, and Montour was supposed to play on this. So hopefully he's really good on that power play. Do I think that power play is going to be good? No. I said kind of mid on my share. Kind of thinking how I think about it because they got Beniers, good. Montour, good. But other than that, it's kind of concerning. They don't really have that much offensive star power compared to, for example, like the Predators, the Lightning, Oilers, those 3 right there are like the 3 key power plays. Like the guys that are those are the guys that are you want to be the best power play. These are the 3 power plays that you're going to have to beat. Those guys have offensive star power. That's what the power play literally is. Don't care about defense. You care about complete offense. Does that team have enough offensive star power on that power play? No, they really don't. So I don't think he's going to completely skyrocket in points compared to what he did in Florida because that Florida power play was nasty. Look, they had Ryan Hunt, Chuck, Verhaeghe, Barkov, and then him. The Kraken had Beniers, him, and there's someone else that I'm forgetting. Stevenson probably would play on it, and that's about all the star power they got. And that's not that good. So that's why I don't think he's going to completely skyrocket in points. But I do think Montour was great on the power play. Usually quarterbacks to power play. 19 for Chris Letang. Yes, he used to be better, but he is still super good, very responsible defensively. I do think the Penguins are going to be not the best team this season, so I don't think he's going to climb the rankings much, but I do believe that as an individual is a great defenseman. Number 18, I put Theodore. Theodore is super good. He's a great wrist shot, great shot in general, great defensively. He's consistently been arguably the number 1 defenseman over in Vegas. I have him as the number 1 defenseman in Vegas. I think that I have them finishing number 3 in the Pacific Division. I didn't used to. I used to have the Kings, but I kind of thought about it. I'm like, man, the Kings are really not that good. They're really not. The Vegas still has a nasty team. If you can look at the forward core, the defensive core. When I did my defensive core tier list, I had them in elite. I have them in the top tier. Probably top 3 defensive core in the league. The forward core, yes, they lost Marchand and Stevenson among others, but they still have a nasty forward core. They still got Eichel, Stone, Holtz, Hurdle. Oh my God, there's someone else I'm forgetting. someone else I'm forgetting, but they have a lot of good power forward. They still have like a bunch of some of the depth, like Cotter, Kolasar, all that I'm forgetting right now, of course. Yeah, like they still have a great forward core, great defensive core. The only question is, can they stay healthy, and can specifically Aiden Hill stay healthy? Will he? Hopefully he stays healthy. If he does stay healthy, I think he's gonna be a phenomenal starter for them. So yeah, I hope he stays healthy. That's the only big concern is, can they stay healthy? But I have to finish number 3 in the Pacific. Yeah. Number 17, I put Brock Faber as Minnesota Wild. I made this list before today when he got that big contract, that 8-year, $68 million contract. Today he signed with the Wild. But it doesn't really affect where he's going to be on the rankings. I do really like him. He was second counter voting. He was fantastic. I think he's going to be better. Yes, this was not based off projection, but he was super good last year for them. And when Bedard was injured, there was really a talk like, could Bedard slip and lose this counter race? And as a defenseman, that is really hard to do, to compete with somebody like Bedard. As a defenseman, that is super hard to do. Not only is he great offensively, he's phenomenal defensively. I know it's not based off projections, but while I'm on the talk of Brock Faber, I think that he will get much, much better in the future at everything he does. So I think that it will help him climb the rankings in the next year or two, especially. But right now, I put him at number 17. 16, I put Mackenzie Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar is one of the best shutdown defensemen in the league. Plays for Calgary, one of the actual bright. Faber. Yes, Faber is a rookie this year. As I just said, he was second Calder voting, which is the rookie of the year. Yes. Mackenzie Weegar, he's one of the best shutdown defensemen in the league. It is. He's one of the very few bright spots over there in Calgary. He needs to get out of Calgary, honestly. Calgary is supposed to be tanking this next couple of years in a rebuild, and he's one of the bright spots. And if he's on any contending team, he would be a huge acquisition for them, as he was with Florida a few years back. In the 21-22 year when they won the President's Trophy, he was one of the key contributors defensively. One of the bigger reasons why the defensive core was so good that year. 15th, with Mikhail Sergachev. He should be a little bit higher, I feel like, but he was hurt for the majority of last year. He is super good offensively. He's great defensively. I think he's going to even rise in these rankings. He's supposed to play in the number 1 power play unit for Utah. Actually, I don't know. Is him or Sean Durzi supposed to be on there? I think it's him. I think Sean Durzi is supposed to be in the second one, but I don't know. Either way, he's supposed to be on the power play unit. Actually, that reminds me. Let me check the Arizona. Why do I keep saying Arizona? Actually, only said Arizona once. But the hockey club lines. Let's look. Is he projected to be on the first power play unit? He is not. Okay, but that changes the ball game a little bit. I do think that he's going to be super good because he is playing on that first pairing with another great defenseman in Sean Durzi. Sean Durzi is very underrated in Arizona, which is a small market when he plays Arizona, but now he's going to Utah. He's going to get more recognition, especially playing with a very good defenseman in Mikhail Sergachev. Sergachev is a great defenseman and offensively and defensively, and I think he will prove that, and he'll get more recognition this year. Sean Durzi as well. Sean Durzi. I think the Utah Hockey Club is going to make the postseason wild card either 1 or 2. I have been finishing wild card number 2, just below the Wild. But I could totally see them getting wild card 1. I could even see them slipping into the top 3 in the Central, but I don't think it's going to happen. I do think the Avalanche will be good enough to not lose that number 3 in the Central spot. But it is totally possible that the Utah Hockey Club is just phenomenal, and the Avalanche start slow and have problems with Nichushkin. That kind of throws the players off, and they just start slow, and they just never able to get on enough of a roll to really gain that number 3 in the Central spot back. But we'll just have to see how the season plays out. The only way to tell is to just wait and just to see. Only time will tell. Number 14, Mo Seider. Mo Seider is a very good defenseman. He won the Calder, I believe, in the 21-22 season, maybe 2020-2021 season. I think it was the 21-22 season, though. No, I think wait. No, because Matty Beniers won it last 2 years ago. No, it was the 21-22 season, I believe. Okay, so I was gonna go with that. Mo Sider, former Calder winner. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what year you won it. Super good offensively. I think it was the right wing video. Yeah, it was. I was talking about Lucas Raymond. Lucas Raymond and him, I think, is going to be a phenomenal duo in the future. He's the number one defenseman. The only problem here is the fact that he doesn't really have a good defensive partner playing with Ben Sherratt. Ben Sherratt is nowhere near the level of a second defenseman, number two defenseman. No way. That's why I have them missing the postseason. Quite a decent amount. I have them missing it behind I'm gonna have right now. I'm on the Senators and Lightning making it. I have them missing just below the Islanders, Capitals, and Red Wings. Some people are so high in the Red Wings. I even seen this one take from it was on NHL Tonight. You might have seen it if you guys watch NHL Tonight. I just saw a clip of it. This girl said that for one of the long shots, she had the Red Wings winning the cup. In my head, I'm like, there is no shot, because if you look at teams, I don't remember them making the postseason. So hypothetically, if they did, okay, we'll say in a world that they made the postseason, which is not even impossible. I'm saying it's some fairy tale, but if they did make the postseason, okay, Wild Card 2, for example, they played a team like, let's say, New Jersey. Head to head with New Jersey, they're gonna get smacked. 4 games, probably 4 games straight, maybe in 5. Maybe they squeak a game out. Maybe the offense carries them for a game in Detroit or something. I don't know, but compare offensively. Offensive is where the Detroit's only very strong point. I'm taking New Jersey's forward core over the Detroit forward core any day of the week, twice on Sundays. Okay, and then actually maybe it's not that bad, but it's it's not as good as the Devils, okay? And then we go down here to the defense core. It's not even close. It's not even. Why am I even comparing them? Well, I do know why I'm comparing them, but you shouldn't be comparing them. Really, it's so bad because even with Mo Sider, is the only good defensive player after they lost Jake Wallman. At least they make some big move before the season starts or during the season or something. It is concerning how bad the Red Wings defense is. They got Ben Sherratt playing on the first pairing, and Jeff Petrie they still got Justin Holl, and those guys. And then the goaltending, Jacob Markstrom for the Devils would be a million times better than Cam Talbot. Cam Talbot's 35. It's not old, but it's pretty old in hockey terms. He's only got a couple years left in the league. And then, he's gonna give you around 900 save percentage. It's not good. That's why I don't have Sider really going up in the ranks, because of the fact that the Red Wings are not gonna be that good, and he doesn't have a dancing partner in the defensive side. He really doesn't. So I don't think he's gonna really climb the rankings. Number 13, I was talking about him earlier. Gustav Forsling. Gustav Forsling has been super underrated. I barely even knew who he was. I'm going to admit it. I didn't really know who he was until last year. People really started talking about him. I was watching him last year. He was so good. We'll talk about his offense. First of all, he's a very good puck mover. He's very fast and good decision making. He knows when and how to pass it, who to pass it to. He got it all when it comes to offense. He's a good shot too. Defensively, he knows when to use the stick. He knows how to use the stick. He has phenomenal timing. He knows his position on the Panthers and how Paul Maurice likes him to play. He knows his position. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he does it to the best of his abilities. He's fantastic both ends of the ice and the neutral zone. He's fantastic in the neutral zone. Fantastic in all 3 zones. So 13 is where he's got to go. He could climb the ranks, but right now 13. Number 12, Morgan Riley, Toronto Maple Leafs. He's been consistently the number 1 defenseman for the past few years. Not gonna lie, he's been so good offensively, and he's pretty underrated defensively. He's been phenomenal offensively too. Yes, he plays with Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and probably Nylander and Tavares some here and there. Usually Marner and Matthews. Yes, I know that will probably elevate his stats, especially in the power play. If he plays in the power play with him, Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, Marner, yes, that's obviously going to elevate his stats. But that's exactly why he's not in the top 10. He's 12. The reason why he's not in the top 10 is because, yes, his stats get elevated slightly by playing with those players, but you can't take away from the fact of how good he is offensively and defensively with or without those star players. Number 11, Noah Dobson of the Islanders. Noah Dobson is super good. Offensively, I don't know if he put up a point per game, but I think he will put up a point per game, as well as playing phenomenal defense. With the Islanders playing on the first pairing, it's not like he plays with a Matthews like Wiley does. Like, he plays Matt Barzal and Horvat, all very good players, okay? Do not get me wrong. I had Barzal, I think, just outside the top 10. Actually, no, I had him at number 9 in right wing rankings, but he still doesn't quite. Okay, that's not what I meant to say. Okay, let me backtrack. Let me think. He still is so good. That's why he's above Riley, because he doesn't play with the Matthews, he doesn't play with the Marner, those offensive studs. He plays with Barzal, who, yes, is a phenomenal offensive player, but he's not a Matthews. And he plays with Horvat. Again, not a Matthews or a Marner. So it's even harder for him to rack up those points, and he still does it anyway. Number 10, I put Josh Morrissey. Josh Morrissey is so underrated. He's usually just under a point per game. We're playing some phenomenal defense. Phenomenal does not even explain how good he's been playing defense. He is phenomenal defensively. As well, playing around a little under a point per game a year. Every year, I should say. So underrated with Winnipeg. Hopefully he gets more recognition and more love in the years coming, but if he doesn't, there's some people that do recognize how good he is. Some people are like, nah, he's not that good, and it's really sad. Number 9, Charlie McAvoy, talking about one of the best defensive defensemen in the league. I think he's the second best defensive defenseman in the league, and the only reason why he's not the best is because he has a lot of offense. So, yes, he's super, super phenomenal defensively. Fantastic defensively, but he also is super good offensively. He puts up probably 60, 70 points a season while playing some of the best defense in the league. So that's why I put him at number 9. 8, Rasmus Dahlin. Rasmus Dahlin is probably going to get around a point per game. And he's been around a little under a point per game, probably around that range, while playing phenomenally defensively. I think he will actually end up climbing these rankings even from 8. Probably around the top 5 during his prime when he hits it. Number 7, Jacob Slavin. This is the best defensive defenseman in the league. Towards the beginning of this list, I was saying that just because you're don't perform entirely like the best offensively, and you're just the top 3 defensive defenseman in the league, you will get some love. And he is the best defensive defenseman in the league. Not saying he doesn't put up any points. He puts up 50, 60 points a year. While playing probably the best defense in the league. At the same time. He has to be here, in my opinion. If you put him outside of the top 10, that is just a disgrace to Jacob Slavin. Because Jacob Slavin needs more love than outside the top 10. That's why I put him number 7. Number 6, I put the Nashville Predators captain, Roman Josi. Roman Josi, he has some wheels on him. He's great offensively. He knows how to move the puck. He has a great shot. He's a great playmaker. Great vision. Defensively, he knows when to use his stick. He knows how to use his stick. He knows his timing. He knows how to use his body properly. He doesn't take much penalties. And he's just overall a phenomenal player. And he's been there with the Predators for quite a while. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to answer your question, your statement in chat. I saw it and I didn't answer it. Why will the Blackhawks in the playoff next season? Absolutely not. I'm not even entertain that idea. Moving on, number 5, I put Evan Bouchard. He wouldn't be anywhere near the top. He'd probably be maybe top 10 last year. The past year, he elevated himself to top 5. He was over a point per game the entire season. In the postseason, he was the best defenseman in the postseason, probably. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, Forrest Ling was really good. Offensively, he's probably the best. For sure. His Bushbomb is low-key getting kind of famous throughout the hockey world. His Bushbomb anywhere from 90 to 100 miles per hour. Especially since he's on the top during the power play. Arguably the best power play unit in the league. He was the best power play unit in the league last year. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, RNH, and then him. He's usually in the top, so he gets a lot of time. And they try to block off his passes a lot. They did. And when they did, he usually just wound up and did what they call a boost bomb, and it's usually a slap shot around 90 to 100 miles per hour. It will go in a lot of the time, how fast and accurate it is. His stats was so good. Yes, he plays with McDavid, and he doesn't play Draisaitl usually on his line, but he plays with McDavid and Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Yes, that elevates his stats. Yes, he plays in the best power play in the league. Yes, it elevates his stats. A lot of yeses. He elevates his stats. Absolutely. I'm not arguing that. But it's the fact that even if he wasn't on the Oilers, say he was on, I don't know, I'm not even trying to take the time to make up an example, but if he was on a different team that doesn't have nowhere near as good of a power play, he wouldn't get 80, 90 points. Maybe he'd get solid 70 to 80 points. I would say that. Maybe at the very minimum 60 if he has a bad year, but probably around 60, 70, maybe even 80 points a year on a different team. On this team, he puts up 80, 90 points. It's not that much of a big difference. Really, it's not. Yeah, just those points difference is a big difference, but I'm saying he'll still put up very, very good points. As a defenseman on a different team than on the Oilers because of how good he is. Number 4, Miro Heiskanen. I think he's a top 3. He's more of a two-way defenseman, though, because he is probably top 3 defenseman at defense, as well as putting up 70, 80 points a season with Dallas. So he's either a little under a point per game, or at around the point per game mark. He's around the point per game mark anyways. We're playing top 3 defense in the league as a defenseman. He is so good. So yeah, number 3, Quinn Hughes. I think he's gonna get better. I don't think he's gonna climb these rankings per se. I mean, he could, but I don't think he will. But I do think he's gonna get better. He really this year was his really year that people really put their eyes on him. I explained this in the previous episode. I think it was my July power rankings, I believe. Actually, no, I don't think it was. I think it was around that episode. It was around there. One of the few episodes after that. But I was talking about... Actually, it might have been the episode that I was talking about every team. But anyways, I was talking about how he, on the power play, instead of just being able to pass, he could shoot. And I'll explain it again. He basically, in the past, he wasn't able to shoot very well. He didn't have a good shot, so everybody blocked off his passing lanes. And he was basically a pure playmaker, so he couldn't pass. So he had to rely on his shot, and his shot was not good. So it would get to the goalie, but it wasn't very good. So he didn't score all that much in the power play. This past season, on the off season of this past season, he really worked on his shot. So now people either back off and block his passing lane so he can't pass, but he'll shoot and he'll score a lot. Or if they do pass off block off his passing lanes, he can dangle and get even closer to the net and shoot and get an even better shot. Or somebody blocks off his shot, leave another passing lane open. He can pass to them and then they can make another play. And he'll get more points. That's how he elevated his points so much and won the Norris. It's because he was so much more versatile. So you can get more points in so many more different ways. That's why he really got the Norris this past season. Number 2, put Adam Fox, New York Rangers. He puts up anywhere from 80 to 90 points a season. We're playing some phenomenal defense. The reason why I put him above Bouchard is because he is slightly better defensively. That's why I put him above Bouchard. The reason why I put him above Heiskanen is because he's slightly better offensively. Quinn Hughes, the reason why I put him above Quinn Hughes is because he's more established. Quinn Hughes only really done this 1 year. Adam Fox has done this for the past 3-4 years. So if Quinn Hughes continues to do this, and Adam Fox falls off slightly, I think he might overtake Adam Fox. But right now, Adam Fox is here until they prove me different. Number 1, I think this is kind of hands down, Cale McCarr, the Avalanche. He is a generational defenseman. When he retires, he's going to be one of the best defensemen of all time. He is so good. He could put up 100 points a season, I think, if he stays fully healthy. He usually puts up around 80 to 90 points a season because of the fact that he's usually hurt for 5 to 10 games. While playing some of the best defense in the league. If he stayed healthy, I think he could put up 100 points, but right now he puts up 80 to 90 points in 70 games. 70, 75 games. He is that good. But, yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Today was a fun episode. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing that I've been doing for the past 4 episodes on goalies. It's kind of be like the finale of this 5-part little series that I've been doing here. So yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 5 of season 3. Peace.